going to be a different storyline this time for Fnatic, or if Nora-Rengo once again are going to take the victory here at the Six Masters 2018 Grand Finals. Here we go.
All right, getting into the operator picks and bans. Glaz taken off the ball by Nora-Rengo straight off the bat.
Now, do Fnatic ban the Ashe? Is that what they're going to do? Try and counter Mario?
That would be a very bold ban right now. Potentially Lion. Yep.
Lion
instead. It will be.
So, look, yeah, looks like they're going to allow that Ashe through the pick ban phase. You know, and we did see Mario not really playing the Ashe as much. Like I saw him pick up the Zofia, which is arguably a very similar role quite a few times. So, you know, pretty interesting that they're going to let it through, but I don't think it's too much of a biggie anyway, as we see the Valkyrie as the next ban.
Yeah, I think the Ashe coming through, arguably Lion is the better ban. Considering that Nora-Rengo did not ban Lion, means that Fnatic essentially had to.
Yeah, no team really wants to play against the Lion, of course, and then Echo. Going to be that final ban from Nora-Rengo. Not too surprising either. That's another pretty meta ban, isn't it?
Yeah, very standard ban for that last slot. And, you know, going into Coastline here, we'll have to see what what bomb site we're going to get. And he's going to be Kitchen straight off the bat. Of course, all 4 of the bomb sites on this map are exceptionally viable. Yeah,
definitely. We might even see around the world, as you like to talk about it. Just a trip to all the different sites that Coastline can offer.
Capcan, surely that's going to be 6 picked off?
Yeah, if you take a Capcan, it's only a 6 pick into, isn't it? So the fact that they're revealing it right now could just be all part of the mind games.
Yeah, I think it will be. And I'll be surprised to see a 6 pick from the Fnatic squad here. No, they are going to swap off the Dokkaebi to a Ying.
Yeah, and that's that Capcan. Over to Alibi, or is it?
Waiting for the lock-in.
Yeah.
Come on, Walker. Put us out of our misery here.
No, he's going to stick with it.
Yep.
Maybe he was just changing his loadout slightly.
Probably, but as we come into the kitchen and service entrance bomb site, it'll be very interesting to see what Nora-Rengo pull out. This is, of course, being touted as one of the strongest bomb site now for high-level play.
The strongest bomb site, like the very first one that teams will go to.
Yeah.
Why do you reckon this has become the, you know, I suppose favoured map, favoured bomb site?
I think it comes down to the fact that Mira is generally banned away. It's interesting that she got through the ban phase at this point, but the fact that Mira is banned away greatly weakens the penthouse hold, which is what you're seeing now. Them setting up the Mira on to try and hold that whole penthouse from the theater. It greatly weakens that bomb site, and Mira is not exactly necessary for this kitchen defense.
Yeah, for sure. But here we go into the action phase.
A lot of destruction coming through from the Nora-Rengo side, a lot of remodeling, making sure that they can get their angles and their rotations through sight.
Yeah, it really looks like they're not afraid to take those fights from underneath. They're not afraid to say, you know, we can fight up just as well as you can fight down.
And that's it. And it is generally easier to shoot down than to shoot up. If you're shooting up, you're generally going to hit those bars a lot more as well.
Plus, that creates the crossfire in the bedroom right there. Sorry, in the bedroom. When you're coming on in, you got to worry about people from below as well as the mirrors from the theater.
Yeah, you certainly have to worry about a lot if you're going to drop down. But it looks like he's going to drop down into the shower. Maybe.
Not just yet.
Magnet holding VIP though, and this Hall of Fame.
Yeah, with this Yang, this could be a very easy clear of the theater if it's utilised correctly. Of course, some ADSs that'll have to be burnt first, but you know, if Fnatic are quick about it, they could find themselves 2 quick and easy frags.
Yeah, and Rizraz with these stun grenades can burn those ADSs rather simply. And there's one.
Got to be worried about the pre-fire though. That's Papilio, quick on the trigger finger. He is, but no, Rizraz is going to do so successfully.
Yeah, and you can see just how strong this mirror setup is.
Whoops.
Replay C4. Is that an oops?
I thought he meant to toss it through, but especially with the position that it's in, I think he's trying to grab it.
Yeah, he's trying to grab it. So he unfortunately nicked the side there. The C4 going to end up holding tight.
Oh.
But Lusty comes around for the flank. And you can't quite shoot through that reinforced wall. So he only gets about half the destruction he wanted to. But, oh, nice flank from Mario. They're going to get the first kill of this series. Lusty is going to drop.
Yeah, Lusty on his own peeked on too. Looks like there's going to be some aggression here from Nora-Rengo, getting nice and up and close and personal. into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Papilia getting as close as he possibly can. Almost looked like he was going to pick a fight with Rizraz's Blackbeard, but decides to back out at the last minute.
Yeah, Fnatic, they've spent most of the round here, just 45 seconds on the clock, and they've really done nothing. It comes down to them wasting time on attack once again, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is something we were very critical of earlier in the day. Fnatic just being so passive in their attacks, not really gaining any meaningful ground. Rizraz is now going to rotate down to the kitchen. But again, he's not finding anything. Mario's just going to back off. He did get no pressure. He realized everyone backed off, so he backs off. But he manages to take out Rizraz.
Yeah, and there's 20 seconds on the clock. Fnatic are just going to have to jump on into the bomb site. Walker's still engaged with one by the front door, and he's going to win that duel. That's Diffuser dropped out there as well. This is round over. There's nothing that Magnet can do from this point except find some very quick frags, but that's not going to happen at all. There we go. Finished off there by Mario, as he's credited with that downed player as well.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful defense out of Nora-Rengo. And again, just a very passive attack out of Fnatic.
Yeah, it's like Fnatic grouped up in Hall of Fame. Like, all right, Lusty, go flank, put some pressure on from the hallway. And he's ganged up on by 3 Nora-Rengo players already to peek him. And he just loses the gunfight. And then Fnatic are like, all right, what do we do now? They don't respond immediately, do they?
No, it took them a long time to realize that they weren't going to get through. They weren't going to get through the penthouse. And it took them a long time to admit that defeat and realize that they need to make an adaptation.
Well, we are into, well, the reveal phase and then the 6th pick phase of the next round. Magnet is showing that blitz, but yeah, I think that's going to get changed on out. Magnet, not traditionally a shield player, and he's going to be picking up that Ying once again, whereas it looks like Nora-Rengo is just going to stay with what they picked originally.
Yeah, and, I only expect to see aces on that blitz at this point because he has been phenomenal on it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, of course. So, where are we? We are in the bars, bomb site, blue bar, Sunrise.
Yeah, again, this bomb site has been one that has been rising in popularity recently, and I think that comes from the introduction of Maestro in particular.
Yeah, definitely, and it's also like, it's kind of like a, trying to draw the attackers into a trap of just pushing in through the antechamber of Sunrise Bar and going for a quick and easy plant. But, normally they try that, they just get ruined, don't they?
They certainly do. And this fight, you have to take control of Hookah. You have to go upstairs. You have to take control of that upstairs, and then you do a top-down play. And so it just adds an additional dynamic of an extra step that the attackers have to go through in order to be able to get the plant.
Yeah, well, action phase started. So someone's going to hang out up on the ruins. No, Magnet's not going to just yet. Maybe they'll put the Blackbeard up there. Put some pressure on down. But is this going to be a quick play? Neophyte has already opened up the castle barricade into the bomb site. That'd be one way to try and make that work. Quick rush plant.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the right move by Fnatic. And you can see here Neo just placing a Claymore, making sure that their run out is going to be safe. And they are going to take full control of this top 4 here, or at least that's going to be the goal.
Yeah, I really like that shield that Raishu was hiding behind, of course. It's very hard to shoot out that mirror if that's up, and you're going to have to use some utilities such as Zofia or even some grenades to force him out. So, and coupled with ADS, sometimes that's not always possible at all. Yeah,
Mary, you're going to get flashed up. He is going to be on the stairwell, though, to be able to provide support. But at the moment,
deploying sensor.
Fnatic really not achieving anything in this first minute. Going to start droning out, realizing what they're up against. We'll have to see whether or not they're going to decide to commit to this. Rizraz made his way downstairs.
It looked like there was another C4 core on the bars between the roof, because Lusty's going to find the first kill onto Mariu.
Yep, beautiful coconut, flies through the air, takes out that stair player.
But they're very aware of Raishu's position as well, and they're not really doing anything about it just yet. I think they might fall onto Lusty to push on in with another grenade, or maybe just push on in for the frag, maybe try and make his life a little difficult here in the corner. And no, he's going to head over to the window instead. And I think he's going to default off of there. As Magnet, is he ready for this? Well, he's going to trade back to Papilia as he frags Neophyter. Means Magnet's going to have to pull out of these goo mines, but there's still the man advantage here to Fnatic, as they've been able to trade back the one that's gone against them.
Yep, and Racial got out alive in amongst all that. It cost Papilia his life. Walker, though, with a beautiful run out, kills Lusty. He's managed to take out the Claymore in amongst all that, too.
Yeah, how'd that go down? Did they shoot it? Did they...
He must have shot it. But, they either didn't hear it or weren't paying enough attention, and, Walker with a beautiful flank.
Yeah, Walker's still wanting to get on out there, and that's going to lead to his demise. Rizraz going to completely shut him down. Man advantage reclaimed for Fnatic. However, there is the flank, of course, coming out from Racial. He's making his way all the way to Paul. This JJ's just going to sit on site. With 20 seconds, you'd think Fnatic might be in with a good shot to win this one.
Yeah, Racial's back upstairs again. We'll have to see whether or not he's going to come into play. JJ in a very strong position to deny this, though, as a manager getting plant. Racial with the flank managed to find Magnet. Rizraz trades out JJ, though, so we're in a 1 versus 2 here.
Yeah, plant going down, and we're not going to be able to see Racial try and deny it from top. In fact, Rizraz is going to find the frag before that plant goes down. Fnatic go 1 for 1 in these first 2 rounds.
Yeah, beautiful tack there by Fnatic. I was worried that they were going to have another very passive round there for a minute when they sort of just sat there for 30 seconds, but they were just waiting for things to line up until eventually the go happened and managed to push in, pick up the coconut kill, and then go from there.
Yeah, they are definitely being a lot slower than what we traditionally see them, aren't we? Like, normally, they're finding 2 frags within the first 1 minute or so. Like, it's looking a bit different.
Yeah, it's a very different Fnatic we have here. Attribute that to either a new playstyle they're testing out. It could be to do with the roles as well. Whether or not they're just trying to slow down their play in general. But if you do that, you walk a very fine line, because you're fighting the clock.
Yeah, one thing we didn't mention at all earlier on the day is that Fnatic are actually looking for a 6th player to join their roster.
That is true. They have advertised a 6th player, someone they can sub in and out as they need. It isn't going to be a sub position. It's going to be a core 6th player.
Oh, so someone in the crowd's telling me they're picking up you, Amphley.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true? You're retiring from casting. Going to come full-time player for Fnatic.
Yeah, sure, why not?
But no, it's something that has been explored previously in the past. Like Penta did it famously. Yep. They had a 6-man roster, and I was speaking to Dizzle about it. He reckons they want to do the same thing, but explore it even more. Have players that they can have specialize in certain things and sub in when they need them. So it's going to be interesting. So if you want to play for Fnatic, there's an opportunity out there, guys.
Yeah, and it'll be very interesting to see who they pick up when they do eventually find someone, because Fnatic is such a cohesive squad at this point that bringing someone in like that can definitely shake up their whole team dynamic.
Yeah, like, I don't want to harp on about this subject too long, but I was talking to someone earlier, and we're talking about, Fnatic changing their roster. I'm like, well, who do you kick? There's literally no one on that team that you'd feel would have to step down to put someone else on, don't you? Yeah,
that's it. Like, it's kind of hard to say what you do, and it really, to me, it'd depend on, matchups. Like, it'd be depending on who you're versing, what strategies you're intending on running.
Yeah, well, enough on that. Let's focus on the round so far, of course. Fnatic running a pretty similar lineup across the board every time, aren't they? It looks like we've got Neofighter on the Zofia. I believe he's been playing a bit of the Ashe instead, though. But yeah, very similar operators.
Yeah, very, very similar operators across the board. Ace is still sitting on that support operator, playing that Hibana, playing his hard breach. He's sort of sat in this role for about a couple of months now.
Yeah.
I still don't believe it. It must have been for some benefit, but Fnatic made those changes for a reason.
Yeah, and of course, we are defending the bars once again here for Nora-Rengo. Pretty much the exact same setup as well. No pulse this time. Walker's gone for an alibi, but that's the only difference.
Yeah, and I don't think this alibi is going to be too impactful. The grenades are coming out. They go off. They don't find anything. Just there to destroy some utility. And Fnatic still with a very passive attack. Haven't gained any meaningful round in the first half, but that's a player. Merryu's going to win it, though. Lusty's going to have to spend the next half of this round dead. As he contemplates what went wrong. Rizraz is going to trade out Papilia, though. And we are left in a 4 versus 4.
Yeah, Lusty just missing those shots there, unfortunately. Couldn't quite tell where exactly the player model was, and, unfortunately that means he's going to lose that gunfight. Merryu did take some damage, but in the end, nothing, and it looks like Rizraz found one for free from the ruins. It can be such a cheeky spot, can't it?
It can be, and the ruin spot as well can also cut your rotations, right? And the impact from Walker! He runs out, takes out Magnet as he was totally unprepared for that.
I love that, the aggression, the impact right at your feet completely ruins that caster barricade, and no one expects it. That's some great utilization of that utility. Walker's going to be peeking from behind the bar now. Trying to find Rizraz, but nothing's showing just yet.
And that is a Prisma Rizraz. He gets tracked for a little bit. And the shot's coming out, and Rizraz has to be very, very careful here. The C4 comes out. He shoots himself a second Prisma, but he manages to finally land a headshot. JJ gets dropped. Aces picks up one for himself as Neophyte is slowly pushing his way through, but Walker is going to do all he can to stop this. Aces finds Racial, and then Neophyte over the top. One taps Walker.
That was beautiful there from Fnatic. It looked a bit dicey for a bit, and Walker was being very cheeky behind the bar here. All those alibis popping on up, but in the end, Fnatic do manage to find the round because I felt like Nora-Rengo were just peeking too aggressively, showing their heads when they shouldn't have.
Yeah, getting very, very aggressive, but that is Nora-Rengo's defensive playstyle. They get aggressive, they peek, they run out, they do everything they can to curb you. And Fnatic, it caught them off guard at Tokyo. Here, they seem to have the answer for it.
Yeah, I believe in Tokyo, how many rounds did they get? I think it was 3. They've already got 2 against Nora-Rengo here. And it's only been 3 so far.
Yeah, so, doing very, very well for themselves right now. Actually in the lead. Something that didn't happen in Tokyo.
You're surprised.
Well, it's something that didn't happen in Tokyo.
All right. But we are going to go back to the kitchen service entrance for Nora-Rengo as the 2-round lockout has expired. So they're going to be bringing a smoke for Racial. Merrio's changing his Bandit over to a Legion. Walker's keeping on with that alibi, however. And Fnatic obviously thinking they really need to speed this one up. Like we did see Dizzle in his interview earlier say they were taking way too long on their attack. Like surely, someone needs to tell them to get a move on.
Yep, and it seems like they might have finally listened to that as their attacks are coming in now, actually within the time frame.
Yeah, but they are still leaving it down to the wire. I feel like it is coming down to the last 20, 30 seconds when they're starting their push. Like, if something goes wrong, that can be round over right then and there.
Yeah, it certainly can. And we have seen them bite them in the butt before, but I think it comes down to their desired playstyle. Fnatic have been intentionally slowing down their attacks, intentionally slowing down how they're playing. And so I think this is the desired outcome that they want.
Well, let's see how they go this round as we are into the action phase, of course. Going to see a lot of these holes through the floor once again. JJ from this position can deny anyone coming out from the bathroom door. Then this one is to the door to Hall of Fame, of course. That's creating that 3-dimensional crossfire.
Yeah, and hopefully this time we'll actually be able to land his C4 in between the bars, as that was very unfortunate last time, and that's a cheeky shield.
Yeah, so if a player wants to walk in there, they're going to have to vault over that, which I think is going to put them right in JJ's crosshair. That's my thoughts for that placement.
Yeah, and at this point you either need to destroy that shield or go the other way.
Oh, that was close. Neo uses his drone to find the goo mine, and he goes to shoot the goo mine just as someone at the end of the hallway shoots his drone.
Yeah, that's a bit of like a, oh, hello moment. What are you doing here?
Some interesting duality.
Yep, and Neophyte is going to look for a bit of a fight here. The flashbang comes out. It will go off, and oh, that's a peek from Papilia. Not really going to go for it, going to back out instead. Once he realizes what he's up against. Is that an extended barrel?
Yeah, we saw Cutie running it earlier as well. We've been seeing a bit of extended barrel here.
Yeah, but it was on the UMP, wasn't it, for Cutie?
No, Cutie was running it on the Jaeger as well.
Was he?
Yes. So yeah, pretty interesting that we're seeing so much extended barrel, especially on a gun with traditionally so much recoil. Of course, it's been a lot better with some of the latest patches, but still, it can be a bit surprising, can't it? Especially for such high damage output on that weapon.
Yeah, and it is such a high damage. No, it is a rifle, essentially. So Walker's going to find Magnet, though. Neophyter trades one back, and Papilia will find Neophyter and apply. So just like that, Nora-Rengo on the man advantage with all these crossfires and refrags.
Yeah, it's still very sloppy from Fnatic here with their push. It's like they have cleared out this top floor and the theater, but, it's been at quite a price, and it has, pretty sloppy overall, just one-by-one pushes. Yeah, it really has been, hasn't it? And we're finding that Fnatic traditionally managed to get these refrags and these crossfires, but they're just being outplayed by Nora-Rengo with it. Yeah, and I like this position from Lusty. They know Walker loves to play behind the bar, and he is actually going to win that gunfight. Who's peeking Walker? Lusty is, and there goes his head. He's going to peek out and find Rizraz's shield as well. This man does not miss a shot. No, this man is nutty as, and he has been tabled, internationally by players as being just crazy, and you're seeing it right there. They explode the floor above him, he takes them out, and then turns around and immediately shoots someone else right in front of him. You don't mess with Walker. Yeah, well, it is now a 4-on-2 here. Fnatic on the back foot. Aces and Rizraz to try and make things happen as Walker's going to be peeking on out, getting detected, and Raishu's going to finish off Aces. All up to Rizraz now, and he's stuck outside as the Blackbeard. He's going to finish off Raishu, who's getting aggressive, but I think Walker wants this kill too.
Whoa.
Rizraz shuts him down, but that's time. There we go. Round going to Nora-Rengo.
Yep, and that was really, really well played by Nora-Rengo. And Rizraz, there wasn't a lot he could do. He was just sitting there hoping that Nora-Rengo would throw themselves against him. And half of them did. But
Yeah, he was hitting his shots nicely, wasn't he? At the end there, like, you know, of course, it's just common angles, just, you know, push fire as they peak, and, you know, you're already aiming in that direction. But, you know, he was showing his gun skill there, hitting those shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting to note that, you know, we've touched on it before, but Fnatic, they have 3 Blackbeard mains on their team. Yeah,
they do. And that time it was Rizraz. It's been Rizraz all match, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. It's something that, you know, they really solidified. They took it away from Aces and gave it to Rizraz, enabling that more flex pick, as we said earlier. But, you know, Neofighter can also fulfill that role if he has to.
Yeah, well, Neo is one of the kind of guys you can just set and forget, and he's going to find a frag for you. Just say, all right, you hold down this area of the map, and, you know, he's going to rock up with a 2-roll or 3-roll.
Yeah, and that's why I think Lusty has traditionally found himself on supporting players, because traditionally your supporting players don't frag the best on a team, but, you know, you put Lusty on there, he's going to be able to clutch it out.
Yeah, well, the kill score has been a bit barren for most of Fnatic. Rizraz leading the way on 7, but the next highest being 3 after 4 rounds.
Yeah, it is. It is rather, you know, dispersed. You know, the kill credits, but Nora-Rengo have the same issue. They have a donut.
Yeah, JJ hasn't yet to find a kill, but I don't know. I wouldn't be too concerned from Nora-Rengo in that regards.
No, I don't think they need to either. They're well and truly in the driver's seat right now. Their wins have been a lot more convincing than what Fnatic's have been.
Right, so are they defending Penthouse Theatre, but they're chucking mirrors downstairs?
Yes. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, a bit of a change-up, bit of an interesting strat here from Nora-Rengo. Normally you just, you know, put one person down there and hope that, you know, they don't get droned out, whatever. But, you know, here they're utilising utility, making sure it does remain contestable.
Yeah, advertising the fact they're going to have people down here. Now it's just a matter of how many bodies they put down there. Is it going to be 1? Is it going to be 2? Is it going to be 3? And how much utility they're willing to spend down there to protect a person.
Looks like Walker's back in that position behind the front desk where it can just be so lethal from Fnatic. Going to have a bit of trouble working around this man's position.
Yeah, Walker loves this front desk, and we've seen it before. He just crouch spams up and down. Manages to land his shots while he's doing it too, which is actually really impressive. But, you know, I really think that they have to really force him out if they want to take any sort of control here. And Lusty's managed to make his way through the bars.
Oh, and there's one in blue bar as well. Surely his position is, they're well aware of it. He's going to use the shotgun to take out that camera though. But yeah, in blue bar, he's got to worry about the presence of the pulse. Rachel is scanning out his position as Neofighter is going to find Merriam for the first frag of the round.
Yeah, and here he is. They know exactly where he is now. That pulse scanning him out and just watching him run around. Walker's going to run out. Walker manages to land the shots. While that happened, Papilia found Magnet amongst all that. And we are left in a 3 versus 4.
That was some great teamwork there from Nora-Rengo. Papilia, how do you land that shot? That was crazy as Rizraz going to trade back onto Walker. However, it is just Rizraz and Neo against the 3 remaining members of Nora.
Yeah, 2 versus 3, still entirely doable for this Fnatic squad, but they need to get a move on. With, you know, under a minute left here, need to grab the diffuser and go for sight, which is what they're doing. Rizraz going to make his way in. He sees one behind the mirror. Well, he's going to presume one's behind the mirror. The ADS burns the flash. And now they're moving in, but the C4 from JJ from below. Goodbye, donut, and that's how you get rid of it.
I believe the C4 was from behind the mirror there, Flea. There we go.
Yep.
Nice little Kobe. I think they heard it rip with the first time that flashbang went on out, and I think they knew they were done. JJ puts himself up on the board finally with 2, with just 1 explosive.
Yeah, manages to make a convincing win for Nora-Rengo on that round. They're going to finish the half 2-3 in favor of Nora-Rengo. as we swap sides. Fnatic on defense now. Neophyter bringing out that clash. No, potentially going to hide it behind a dock.
Well, yeah, we're seeing a lot of ACOGs come out here from Fnatic. Are they going to be playing
Surely
a bit of
not.
peaks?
Surely not.
I don't know. There was a Rook, like...
Surely not. I expect to see the Clash fully. Clash has been extremely strong for Fnatic. Neo has been a monster on it.
All right, but that Rook, surely they pick. No, it's been ticked. Okay, and they've got the Maestro ACOG as well.
No 6 pick at all.
Well, they are playing Penthouse, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one of those long angles all the way towards VIP.
Yeah, we could also see someone in VIP. A Rook, you know, an ACOG in that little cubby.
Yeah.
In the back of VIP can be exceptionally powerful if you protect it properly. Yeah, you need to protect it properly, and it takes a full team to hold it.
Well, and of course there's the Capitao. That can be so deadly if anyone's stuck inside that corner as well. But yeah, some very interesting operator selections coming out from Fnatic. I'm just mostly puzzled by...
Why take the Rook over the dock?
Yeah,
if you want an ACOG, why not take the dock?
I don't know, I like to play Rook as well, but that's just because you got the impacts and you can, you know, just roam easier because, you know, I like to roam as Rook. But, you know, that's this isn't this level of play. Like, it's pretty interesting that we do see the Rook come on out.
Yeah, and if you want the impacts, I mean...
What's this setup?
Is this going to be a hard hold with VIP?
I don't know. It's looking like it's going to be pretty interesting. A bit spicy. A bit spicy on the strategies. Fnatic showing us some of their super secret strats.
Yeah, well, I'm always interested to see something different because I love watching different things. So, you know, if it works, it would be very interested to see. If it doesn't, what adaptations need to happen to make it work?
Yeah, and of course they're trying it out against a very good team in Nora-Rengo here. So, you know, it's definitely going to give you a good test, isn't it? A stress test.
Certainly is. And out pops Neophyter.
Defender has left the area of operation.
Just trying to make sure. Oh, he sees the rappel line. They know he's there, though. Surely they know he's there.
Yeah, of course. I think there was some drones on him earlier. There's Mario. He's going to see that shield set up for a pixel peek, the flashbang to test, and then the Ash charge to destroy that shield, make sure they can't peek around that.
Yep. So that is Maestro, I believe, down the end of that hallway. Rizraz is going to be a little bit unlucky. But these flashbangs are coming out. He does get flashed. They are going to open up the wall. No, they kill the Evil Eye with it. But, ooh, Magnet prone on the ground behind the sound equipment. Manages to find Mario. And he does back out to get the reload. Papilia pushing his way in. He has the Firebolt. He gets shot, though. Racial finds Rizraz, puts an end to that. Lusty looking to peek out. No, but he does back out. JJ on really low health and amongst all this as well. Needs to just back out and lick their wounds a little bit.
Yeah, 1 for 1 so far, but that's a lot of damage done down to JJ and Papilia. Neophyter, same story there, but you know, minute 20 on the clock. This is setting up for an interesting round, as I'm not sure if Nora-Rengo know exactly how to get rid of Magnet's position.
Yeah, I don't think they really can at this point. Neophyte has been taken exceptionally low. Racial's going to find Lusty, though, through the wall. Beautiful, beautiful headshot. But now Nora-Rengo can take full use of the theater room.
Ooh, that was close from Aces, but Papilia is going to fire Neophyter to his death. That's the problem with the shield, is the execute's going to come on in, but Magnet situated himself inside, but it is all up to him. 1 on 4. He's going to find the Hibana, but he's going to go down straight after that to Papilia. And there we go, Nora-Rengo up to 4.
Yeah, really strong showing by them so far on Coastline. And beautiful, beautiful play, team play by Nora-Rengo. They're not getting caught out individually. They're always together as a team. If one of them is separated, they're not taking unnecessary gunfights. So we're seeing them, as soon as one of them is isolated, they get shot at. They, instead of trying to take the fight, they're backing out until they get into a comfortable position with their team. So they're ensuring they're always getting their refrags here.
Yeah, and it really felt like that Fnatic started off so well, but then, you know, as the gunfights came down later in the round, they just didn't land those shots, did they? No,
they didn't at all. And it comes down to, you know, we saw them get a couple of kills, but none of them were the clean headshots. You know, it was all body kills. It was, you know, half a mag, 3/4 of a mag coming through. So they were forced to reload afterwards, and they were just getting caught with their pants down while they were reloading. And it comes down to Nora-Rengo. That's 3 rounds in a row for them now, breaking away.
Yeah, it looks like that Fnatic want to change up the bomb site that they're going for. believe that was Hookah getting
Attackers need to
locked on him. We'll find out in just a moment.
Well, I do think that changing their bomb site's a good idea. I said in the past that, you know, if the bomb site's not working for you, move. And there was something inherently flawed with how they held that bomb site.
Yeah, looking at those kills, we've got Walker all the way up on 8. You were so critical of him before, Flea. Like, how does it feel to eat those words, hey?
Well, I'm always glad to be wrong. Like, Walker's an amazing player. He had a bad game, so it was worthy of a call-out. And he had a bad series, actually, against Atletico, so it was worthy of a call-out, and it's great to see him stepping back up again.
Well, these Prismas going in such powerful positions where it's so hard to shoot the bases of them can lead to people shooting them over and over again, as we did see in the VSDS matchup earlier.
Yeah, certainly. We've seen a mixture of alibis so far, some successful, most not so successful. But I think that's just how her utility plays out in general, to be honest. So she's either one of those operators where everything works or nothing works.
Yeah, we'd have to agree with that one. Looks like Nora want to take control of Penthouse to start things off with, of course. Pretty standard way to take this bomb site, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. So you drop down on the other side of the map and you just push your way across. You don't really worry about the vertical play. Any roamers that may be downstairs, well, you just deal with them later as they come up the stairs. You really just play a horizontal game.
Yeah, you just got to make sure that those flanks are getting watched. What? Walker!
What was that?
That was a nuts shot. That's what that was. Wow, this man always showing up with those absolutely incredible kills. Like, how do you counter that? You don't. You just die.
Yeah, that's really it. You don't peek a Walker, all right? So, as we're moving through, Nora-Rengo now taking control of this VIP room. Lusty's going to take out Papilia, though, tie it back up 4-4. And... wow, Lusty has to drop back down. He sees someone drop in, potentially could go for a wall bang, but the angle's being held. Lusty, he's slowly losing this fight. Walker's going to win it eventually, but he takes a lot of damage for his troubles. But here comes that crouch spam that he loves so much.
Just up and down while he's moving. It's so hard to hit that bopping up head, isn't it?
It really is. It makes him an almost impossible target to deal with. And that's what it looks like when you're versing him. Walker puts another one in the ground. Neofighter finally trades him back. Meryu trading him back, though. And now we are left in a 1 versus 3 for Aces. He's building aggressed from every angle. He runs out of ammo. Meryu gets the kill credit. And Nora-Rengo take a 4th in a row.
Yeah, they've put themselves onto match point now. This is looking rather difficult here for Fnatic now, isn't it?
Certainly is. And we have to come up with a rule here. You don't peek a crouching Walker.
It's just nuts, isn't it? What do you reckon he's got his crouch bound to? I think it's space.
It's got to be a mouse button, surely, right?
No, it's got to be space bar. Because it's so easy to hit that with your thumb. And like that's
could be his W key at this point. Like,
W key.
Like
maybe it's bound to his fire button.
Yeah.
So every time he shoots, he does a little pop. So.
But we are going to see, what, the bars back again for Fnatic.
Fnatic haven't tried bars yet.
They've gone, but we have seen it twice already for Nora-Rengo.
Yeah, we've seen it from Nora, but we haven't seen it from Fnatic.
Do you think Fnatic's going to be any more successful? Because this is the only rounds that Nora-Rengo have lost, have been the bars.
Yeah, that was the 2 that Fnatic won in a row at the beginning of the matchup, wasn't it? So, I don't know. As you said, like it's becoming more and more popular, especially, you know, with more and more mirror bans. But then with mirror, this bomb site is a lot more viable still.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I expect to see the mirrors being played, probably being played in Hookah. Well, one is definitely going to go up in Hookah at this rate. And again, you have to take control of that Hookah bar before you can go down to the Sunrise bar. So before you have to be able to play that vertical play in this map.
Yeah, well, as for operator selection, pretty standard stuff for Nora, what they've been picking so far in the matchup. Aces on the smoke, I don't think we've seen too much smoke so far. Neo on the mute, that's a bit interesting. It's not something we've been seeing a bit of. And Magnet, he wants to go a bit sneaky here, a bit cheeky, go for a bit of a peeky. Here we go, he's going to peek, but no. Decides to save himself instead.
Yeah, well, those shots came across at just the right time. You know, made him think twice about it, and Meryu going to just play it very, very safe before he charges in. But beautiful, beautiful shots out of Mary. Makes Magnet rethink his life choices there, and he just goes back inside. Says, no, I don't want any of this anymore, and that was a bad choice.
Yeah, well, you know, it was going to come down to a 1v1 gunfight. Who can hit that headshot first? And you almost have to think that, you know, that's the kind of thing that Mary who's going to be winning, don't you?
Yeah, certainly it would be, but you know, 5v5 now, 1 minute down, and we're seeing Nora-Rengo push their way into Aquarium. Be taking their way across the billiards room as they put aggression onto that hookah bar. But downstairs, action's happening as well, as Nora-Rengo just seems to be pushing in from every angle.
Yeah, it seems like they're finding the backsides of Fnatic completely exposed and just starting to shoot at those. Fnatic aren't ready for half these angles that Nora are aggressing onto.
They're really not, and for Fnatic, it must seem like, you know, Nora-Rengo have like a 6th or 7th player on the map because they are literally everywhere at this point. And that's a scary thing to deal with, but Mary, you going to put Rizraz into the ground?
The #1 Ash main in APAC, that's for sure. He just completely destroys Rizraz. That's the mirror going to go down as well. And yeah, it really does seem like Nora are just completely surrounding the bomb site right now, ready to push on in. And it's making life very difficult for the players on site. Lusty, just a bit of unfortunate timing there, not finding the shots. There's a minute to work with, and that's going to be Lusty finding JJ and Mariu getting very lit.
Yeah, Mariu very, very low now indeed. Neophyte has been taken to just below half health, and amongst all this as well, these Goomines are still coming out. Annoying Papilla. Racial takes a lot of damage though. He's trying to get the plant off. The smoke goes just a little bit too far, and Aces gets popped, so there's going to be no denial on the plant here. And Magnet has now pushed his way in. Lusty's found Walker. Neophyter has found one. Finally gets kill credit for that as Magnet picked up one for himself. And that only leaves Racial now in a 1 versus 4.
It's been a great retake so far for Fnatic. They've got everything on the line right here, and they're going to do it. Lusty finishes off Racial. There we go. Fnatic finally find their first defensive round.
Yeah, a big, big play by Fnatic. A beautiful retake from that. Waited till the plant went down, and then it all happened from there.
As soon as that plant was going down, I was feeling like it might all be over, but then we saw the kill feed rain all Fnatic, leaving it all up to Racial. And yeah, he couldn't finish it off, could he?
No, he couldn't, not in that 1 versus 4 anyway. And it'd be very interesting to see exactly where Fnatic's going to go after that. Back up to the penthouse. They've avoided kitchen here.
Yeah, well,
interesting.
I really do want to see this strategy fleshed out a bit more. Like we did see that Rook playing aggressive up against the wall towards the bed. That could easily be denied with someone on the windows, but then again, we did see a shield on the bed from Fnatic. So, I don't know. I really want to see this round with more dynamic to it.
Well, do you think they're looking to do something similar? You know, the Rook, the Doc, the
3
Castle.
ACOGs.
Yeah, the Maestro. I expect that Doc to be 6 picked off again. Maybe a clash again. Neophyter did play that clash relatively well. He just got caught out.
I don't think it's having much success so far for them on this map.
No, they definitely can't replicate the success they've had previously so far. Whether that's just because, you know, it's against Nora-Rengo, or whether because, you know, there's something inherently flawed, and they didn't go for the clash after all that.
Look at that. Walker's on 11. JJ's 2 have been that double he got with his C4. Ace is just the 2 as well. He's really been struggling this lane, hasn't he?
He really has. I think he's sort of struggled to find his feet in his new role. And it's been... Oh!
That's rude.
Yeah. That's a shot to the foot. Bit of team damage there on the Rizraz.
Looks like they're going to go for a very similar setup here, Fnatic. Instead of both sides of that wall getting opened up, they've only opened up the one side. There we go with that shield up in place to help defend there.
Yeah, some more prisoners going down. And, you know, I've been critical of Alibi players this tournament, but I feel like this has been some really intelligent placements we've seen from them. And they're going to dock up Rizraz. Neophyter going to put him back onto full health. Neo thinking about going for a pick. There was someone on that roof. Neo just barely missed it.
You know about the famous Fnatic, you know, they have to team kill kind of thing. It's kind of the tradition.
They have to TK someone in a match?
Yeah, well, it seems to happen quite a bit, doesn't it? We even saw it in our previous best of 3. Magna onto Neophyter, I believe it was.
It does happen a lot. Waka going to be holding quite an angle there.
Defender is approaching a kill zone.
And Neo going to try and see what he can find him, but Waka has pieced out of there. Meanwhile, Papilia just beating down the castle barricade, because why use utility when you don't have to? Neo Fighter going to find Waka, though. That's a huge frag through the wall. Papilia gets tagged up, doesn't manage to hit anything. Oh, that is an angle and a half through the Prisma. He eventually will get droned out. Whether or not they decide to just shoot through the Prisma to potentially take him out, we'll have to wait and see. Papilia droning him out again. This angle being held. Magnet finding no one, but this ACOG angle is tight.
Yeah, and this is a great position for Magnet as well, because he knows that he's not going to get peeked from the balcony, because that's Neo's job to completely deny that. Although, is that going to be the case, as we do have that opened up now? He's just completely prone. Just can't see past the sofa here. He's going to peek on up, lands some damage, but no kill confirmed. It's going to finally go Mario's way, but Mario, he's on a sliver of HP for it.
Yeah, and where was his team throughout all that? Where was Neo Fighter? Sorry, Neo was the one who's meant to deny that, as you said, meant to keep his flanks, meant to keep his flanks secure instead. You know, going after that personal hygiene.
Oh, that's a flick from Neo! Absolutely nuts! He is the doc, so he should be able to pick himself up, or maybe he's completely out. I don't think he's realised just yet. Okay, questionable. Okay, yeah, he's out. He's out of stims.
Yep, if he didn't use his initial stim on Rizraz, he would 100% have one right here for himself, but instead, JJ's going to get the kill credit. Ace is now sitting in this theater, throws out the Pokeball in favor of the Coconut as well, but Lusty does stop the plant, but JJ comes out with a double for himself as he's pushing his way through. Plant has finally gone down, and Lusty is now left in a 1v2. Yeah,
and Ratio is very lit, sitting on top of the diffuser. Lusty's going to finish him off, so it's all up to the Buck, who is below. Looks like he's going to go straight for that diffuser, though, and surely JJ's going to be aware of that. Can't land all the shots, though. Lusty has gotten very lit from all this. He's going to drop, and JJ's going to finish him off. There we go. Nora-Rengo pull off a 6-3 victory.
Yeah, and what a performance from JJ in the final round.
Well, yeah, he got 2 kills in the previous rounds, and I think he got 3 in that one. Yeah. Finally stepping up. So,
a good start to the series there for Nora-Rengo, but obviously a little bit better for Fnatic as well than what they were able to achieve at the APAC finals. Some big individual step-ups there. Like you say, JJ at the end there, obviously massive for Nora-Rengo, but across the board, things look really good for them.
Yeah, Meryu played phenomenally on his Ashe.
Of course.
Yep. And another really strong performance from Walker.
Yeah, Walker definitely fragging out of his mind. Someone needs to ask him what his crouch bind is. I want to try it out.
Yeah, absolutely nuts, bobbing up and down. It's kind of like playing a game of whack-a-mole. That guy's head pops up and you try and hit it, and then it's gone already by that stage. But yeah, for Nora-Rengo, like I said, 6-3 there on their own map pick. That's definitely a good start, pretty reasonable. I didn't really feel like there was that much actually there for Fnatic, so they're going to need to come back into this second map, which is going to be Clubhouse. It is their map choice, but there wasn't really so much in there that makes me feel too confident that Fnatic are going to be able to challenge really hard in this series.
No, it definitely seemed rather one-sided. There were signs of life, but Nora-Rengo did a brilliant job at shutting them down.
I want to say that it really looks like Fnatic have a bit of a mental block against Nora-Rengo. Like, we saw them, you know, pick up 3 rounds, and, you know, the 3 rounds that they did win, they looked really convincing in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is a mental block or something like that, because obviously at the APAC finals, this matchup did go very convincingly the way of Nora-Rengo. It could be just a clash of styles or something like that, but for some reason it seems like the Fnatic guys don't match up too well to Nora-Rengo right now.
Yeah, they really don't, and I think Fnatic, they need to come up with something. They need to come up with something, because I'm not personally sure what that answer is, but they need to come up with something against Nora-Rengo, and it needs to come up fast.
Yeah, it seems like the aggression that we see from Nora-Rengo just, you know, plays havoc with Fnatic, and, you know, their slow measured style is just getting destroyed. It's like, you know, they'll measure something out, and suddenly Nora-Rengo have, you know, changed the rules.
Well, at least for Nora-Rengo, what can be said is that they have secured themselves at least 6 maps here. Or potentially 5, unless they win, but I guess in that case you'd be happy anyway. What I'm saying is, worst case scenario, they lose this with the 6-mapper in the grand final, or 6 maps over the whole thing. So they've gone all the way from Japan. You wouldn't want to come here, lose 2-0 in your semi-final, and then be like, oh, we came all this way for nothing.
Yeah, so it is, you know, they do get to play all the way through. Yeah, which is good for them, but especially, you know, coming internationally, as you said. But I think Nora-Rengo have just been on a next level for the rest of the APAC teams.
Yeah, definitely. That last round, though, it was very close. I honestly thought Fnatic were going to win it most of the way through.
Well, that's what happens when an individual steps up. And I think right now for Fnatic,